Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and today we're going to be talking about passive income, again, like we have previously. But one of the things that I've sort of talked about, but I haven't actually explained much about, is the tools that I use that help me create my designs and advertise and all that sort of stuff. So one of the things we're going to talk about in this episode is the website Canva, CANVA.com. Now, I'll be honest, this is the site that I use. There are other sites out there that other people can use, but for me, I've found them to be quite good, quite easy, and I'll be honest, cheap. So this is not an ad for Canva, okay? I'm not paid by them, I'm not endorsed by them, nothing like that. This is just my own personal opinion of what I use when I'm creating a design. Now, Canva is primarily used to create things like posters and business cards, and a lot of their stuff is usually text-based. Now, that is not to say that everything is text-based. They have thousands upon thousands of templates, thousands upon thousands of photos, backgrounds, elements is what they call them, but elements are effectively, the way I think of elements is, think of them like clip art, okay? But the fonts is quite amazing. Like that is their main sort of wheelhouse, and they have hundreds of thousands of fonts. Now, you might be going, well, Alex, you just said you pay for it. How much do you pay? Well, I'm going to be honest, I pay $12 US for this per month. So it works out to be about $20 total, which is not too bad. And so $20 New Zealand. And yeah, I mean, even if you use it a couple of times, you will pay for it each week, especially if you start earning money off the designs that you create in Canva. Now, the main reason that I use Canva, because you can use it free as well. You won't get full access to all of the fonts and the elements and all that sort of stuff. They locked that down for a reason. But the reason why I wanted to cover Canva first, this is going to be the first of probably 2 or 3 different podcasts regarding the tools that I use. Canva being the first, because that is where I create my designs for the most part. The second tool that we will talk about in another podcast episode is going to be Placeit. Now, if you jump on the web and you jump on YouTube, you'll see people comparing Canva to Placeit, because you can actually create designs in Placeit as well. But the main reason I use Placeit is when I start doing my advertising, I like to see my products on real models, and Placeit is a way where you can download some free templates of models that you can upload your image to that you've just created, and then download that image and use that for free as a license. Now, each of these programs does give you a license when you use it. For example, with Canva, even if you create a free design, once you've created that design, you will be given a license so that you can use that for print on demand, or anything else that you want to use it for. So it is possible to use Canva for free. I get the full version primarily because one of the options that they give you is the ability to make the image that you've just created a transparent copy. So when you create a transparent image of the design, it means that you can upload it to Teespring or Redbubble or Threadless, and by doing that, it makes things a lot easier for when you're wanting to size and place all of your images on the actual design that you want to, on the actual product that you want to sell. And so most of those will need a transparent image. Now, Canva will, you simply tick a little box, and the next thing you know is there's your design. It's really a transparent image. It downloads it as a PNG or a JPEG, up to you. PNG is, of course, higher quality, so that is the one that I always use. And then you can take that design and put that anywhere. So you can actually put that onto upload it to Teespring or Redbubble or Threadless, and then right there is your design on the product. If you don't pay for the Pro version of Canva, you cannot download that as a transparent image. Now, that is fine. Some people who have Adobe will obviously use Adobe over things like Canva, and there are other programs which will allow you to turn normal pictures and images into a transparent image of that particular image, but you would have to purchase those separately or learn how to use them separately through things like Windows Photo Viewer and all that sort of stuff, which is still fine. I just find for simple ease of use, for the amount of designs that I want to do, just clicking a button and clicking download and having it all done for me perfectly at the high registry that I want it to be, then that's it. That's done. So yeah, if you go to canva.com, that is the actual website that you can go to create your designs. Now, the third part of this podcast series that I'm going to be doing regarding the tools that I use is actually going to be over Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising, and also things like Google Analytics. So those two things will be together in the third series. I'm not exactly sure if these are going to all come out at the same time. I'm hoping they will, but it all depends on how my day is going and what I'm deciding to do and what has struck my mind of what I should be creating for you guys. So yeah, when we go to Canva itself, it's very easy to log in. I literally log in with my Facebook profile, and then if you wanted to start a completely new design, you're ready to upload to Teespring, to Redbubble. I'm not discussing Merch by Amazon or merchandise by Amazon because it is a different pixel size, but effectively you can click something called custom dimensions, and there's a little box, a blue box at the top right hand corner, once you've logged in, called create a design. When you create that design you want to create is a by pixels or px, and it's a 5000 by 5000, so 5000 width by 5000 height. Once you've done that, you click create a new design, and then your design is actually you'll be taken to sort of the elements within Canva where you can actually create these designs. Now, the process is quite fast and quite simple, and it will save your drafts and at certain points, but you can actually choose to save things as you go as well. That way you don't lose the actual image that you're working on, and you can go back. Now, it does store your images in a library for you, it stores your templates, but once you get to the main screen, you will find things like a go back to the home section, where when you're in the home section, it basically will give you, it's kind of like your dashboard, and on your dashboard you can choose to create anything and everything. So we've clicked custom design in this first instance, but say for example you wanted to do specifically birthday cards or a calendar or business cards or t-shirts, for example. You can click on that specific thing and it will give you the dimensions to create something on that basis. The main reason I've gone custom design is because the custom design that I want, being 5000 by 5000 pixels, is what we actually need in order to create something to go print on demand. So most print on demand services, if it's too small, the quality, it just won't accept it, it won't like it. So by 5,000 by 5,000, it can be stretched, it can be made smaller, and it doesn't lose the quality of the image, okay? Which is the important part. Now, with some designs that I've created on Teespring, if I try to put them on certain products, even if it's 5,000 by 5,000, if I do not fill the whole 5,000 by 5,000 area, it will tell me your design is too small. So sometimes you need to upload a second copy of the image, or stagger it, or basically just get another image with a different product. That's about all you can do, really. So yeah, bear with me, because this is going to get a little bit weird with you not actually seeing what I'm seeing, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can. So the actual editing suite for Canva, it does run similar to it's very similar to sort of like PowerPoint, in the respect that there is a white screen with your dimensions. You can put images on it. You've also got the bring forward, bring back, if you want to create other images. And there are ways to do some photo editing to a degree, where you can do things like remove the background picture, which I'll admit is actually pretty good. I was quite surprised at how much the background is removed, and it actually leaves the person in the middle pretty fantastically. And you can sort of create layers as well, so it's very similar to sort of Adobe in that respect. There are a couple of extra steps, of course, like creating duplicates of the image and then removing the background of one of them and putting it on top of each other with something in between and all that sort of fun stuff. That way it gives it sort of a 3D effect. And there are YouTube videos and websites which will tell you how to do these things as well. I'm not going to go through that with you, but what I will go through with you is what you will actually see. So you've opened up Canva, you've created a custom design. At the very top, you've got sort of the home to go back home, the file, you've got a choice to resize it. You've also got the option to share what you're doing. So once you've created a design, you can share it straight away. You can download it. Now, the download is the part that's important, because that is where you can choose things like what the type of image is, whether it's a PNG or a JPEG, whether you want to compress the file quality, or if you want to simply create it as a transparent image and then click that and it will do that for you. Then on the left hand side, you've sort of got a pane of things that are open. So by default, you can move this pane and you can minimize it, and it will do that as well. But you've got templates at the top, and there are actually some set templates which Canva provides to you based on what you pick, whether it's custom designs or t-shirts or birthday cards or business cards, for example. Canva will have some options there that you can simply click and it will apply to your white space and automatically put the whole template that you've got on there, and you can edit each particular element of that. So, for example, if the template has sort of three different elements of one, like a background and an image and then something within the image with some writing, you can click on the writing, change the writing, click on the image, change the image, and so forth. It's pretty simple and pretty standard. Now, there are things like colorways, color templates, which you can also change as well. So there's a style guide as well. There is an upload section where you can actually upload images. You can simply also drag and drop images into the upload section, and it will automatically upload it. That you can then apply it to the canvas that you've created. And the thing with Canva that I haven't really discussed yet is it's not just restricted to images. You can create video, you can create slides, you can create Facebook posts, Instagram posts, Instagram stories, for example. So all of these things you can do as separate templates as well. It's a pretty huge tool, and you can just simply link your account so that when you're ready to share it, you share it, and it goes onto your account, and then everything is set up the way you want it to. Now, I will admit I have not yet done Instagram or Facebook posts, but I have created a Facebook cover. And the Facebook cover that I've created, it's actually pretty good. And it's now on my Costas Enterprise Designs Facebook group, which if you're not on that, please feel free to pop along. And if you go to either my Teespring or my Redbubble store that's in the show notes, you will see that I have updated the banner as well. So I've actually created a separate banner as well. And yeah, the next option you've got with the uploads is underneath it you've got photos, and that is pre-taken photos that Canva provides to you. The search is pretty amazing. If you are using the Pro version, of course you get thousands more, hundreds of thousands more available to you. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think for the price, it's actually pretty good. And if you are seriously considering doing print on demand and you're having inspiration issues, or you're having, concerns with not enough elements for yourself to create and you want other things, you will find a lot on Canva. And that is pretty much the reason why I choose it over Placeit. Placeit is still pretty cool, but as for a paid thing, I know they simply have an easier way of uploading and changing things, which is cool. But for me, with Canva, I actually like the idea that I can customize it a lot more. So I'm not a huge sort of Adobe nerd or anything like that, but at the same time, I did do a little bit of photo manipulation when I was younger, so I know about some of the basic things, and because of that, Canva is a bit more to my use, to my liking, and that is part of the reason why I actually use it now. The other thing with Canva as well, and this is the Pro and the free version, is when you've selected a something like an image or an element or anything like that, it'll pop up in a recently used. Those will stay there. They've also got sections where, say for example, you wanted to do Halloween. Well, you could click Halloween and all the Halloween items, photos will be there, for example. And given that Halloween is coming at the end of this month, if you are doing print on demand, you may want to think about putting some Halloween designs in your Redbubble or Teespring for now. Now, underneath photos, you've got elements. Now, elements is the part that I actually really use quite a bit. This is basically, the easiest way to explain this is, think of this as clip art. So just like Microsoft Word back in the days where everyone used to use clip art, now they use Google. Well, if you try to use Google and you use those images within a print on demand, you will be royally screwed. And I say this because of the simple reason that you do not have a license to use those images unless it is specifically stated that you have a license for the free use of that image. So trademarks and copyright is a real thing, and print on demand users do get hit by it quite a bit because of them doing stupid shit like copying and pasting an image from Google and using that as your actual, and claiming that you did that. What Canva does is Canva provides you with thousands of photos, thousands of clip art, thousands of things like video images, or all those sorts of things get looked at as well. But as soon as you download it or you share it, you have a license. So with that license, it means that you can use that for print on demand. You can use that, and no one is more the wiser. Like, it's actually quite a good little thing for you. Now, I strongly suggest to people, when they are looking at either Placeit or Canva, Placeit also gives you a license based on your payment plan, but you do have to pay for it. and I think it's a little bit more expensive than Canva. I believe it's about $14 to $15. So it's only about, it'll probably be about, what, $25 to $30 compared to $20 for Canva. Now that's New Zealand dollars, of course. But I do, and some of the designs are quite cool on Placeit. I'm not going to lie. From what I've seen on the YouTube, they're very sort of gamer style. So, especially the ones that look really, really cool. But at the same time, if that is the designs and the style that you are going for with your own print on demand, then by all means, try out Placeit, because they do have some cool designs. And the kind of designs that I'm talking about for people that don't know, is if you look into gaming culture and you look into competitive esports culture, when they have those sorts of logos for their teams, that is the kind of designs that Placeit is really amazing for. And it is a very simple process. It is simply click the background of the image, change that to one of the hundreds of other images that can be the background, then go to the front image, change that, and so forth. Which is fine. And you will get thousands of designs from it as well. With Placeit, I like thinking a bit more out of the box. And some of my designs, which you will see, are a bit crazy. And because of that, they are all created in Canva the way I want them to be created. I've recently just created a brand new Halloween design for my own Halloween store. And so, I went a little bit different, going with social distancing as my idea for social distancing Halloween, with the same ghost that I've got in one of my other designs, slightly different. He's wearing a hat this time. Is basically 2 meters away from the kids that are trying to trick or treat at the haunted house. So it's just looking at the options that you've got available to you and going, right, what suits my purpose of how am I going to use this tool best? And as I said, you may use Placeit and you might love it. You might hate Canva. That's fine. That's completely up to you. For me personally, though, I tell a lot of people that I use Canva. I endorse Canva. That is mainly just because it's what I enjoy using. So completely up to you. Okay. The next section that we've got under elements is text. Now, this is where Canva stands out from Placeit. This is where Canva stands out from a lot of places. Not only do you have thousands of fonts available to you, they have preset fonts, they have font combinations, they have basic templates as well of like, this is what would be cool, this is what be this is a different style, and it is different colors and all that sort of thing. So when you transfer something over, you can go, okay, that's pretty much like, for example, one of the ones that I'm just looking at right now is Huge Sale, and it's just in yellow and black and yellow, and that's actually a free design, so anybody can use that. Yet if we scroll down a little bit further and we see one of the other, like Planet Arcadia, well, that's also a free design, and that's quite cool. But you will find some pro ones as well, so that only pro users can do that, and that's usually signified by either pro or a little king icon, and you'll find that with the elements as well. So it's not like there's not thousands of things that anybody can use. There really are, and you could probably get away with creating a whole slew of designs and things for free on Canva, like without needing to ever pay. I don't see that being a problem at all. Now, but just the sheer amount of fonts that you can use, and when you think about that, you can layer that with other things and put them forward and behind and all that sort of stuff. That's where it gets quite cool. Now, underneath your text items, you've got the ability of styles. So if you've created an item, or if you've brought something in like another template, you can then go to the style and then choose one of the thousands of different color schemes that go with that style, or different font schemes as well. Like there's one that I'm looking at now, which is Shrek Hand, which is one of the fonts that I actually quite like. And that's got some colours and stuff next to it. You can click on any of the colours and it'll change the colour, and it'll apply that theme or that design or that style to your actual image or your words. It's very, very cool. You can add music, you can add videos, and there are music and videos that are available there to you as well, which you can apply to things like your Instagram posts or your you can have a moving background of your PowerPoint. You can also create things like PowerPoints in your Canva. So it's very, very open. And so we talked about photos before. There's even backgrounds, like just a standard background or a photo background, which is separate from the photos that were already there. Next thing you got is your folders, and that's things like things that you've purchased, all of your designs are there. Your logos if you've got any, and there's also the option of the more, where you can actually do integrations. So one of the integrations is things like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of these sorts of little things. I mean, even Bitmoji. So for those that ever used Bitmoji, where you can create a Bitmoji of yourself, you can add those to your Canva, which is quite cool. I mean, it's just one of those, it's just those little things. Now, for the people that are the pro, when you click, there is actually a pro part there, and it's got a little video, it'll tell you what to use, but there's all these sorts of things like the Brand Kit Pro. So you've got things like your brand kit. Now, for those that don't know, a brand kit is, say for example, you've created your own business and you've got your own letterhead, you've got your own logo, you've got your own logo colors. You can create your own brand kit and then apply those styles to any of your things that you want to do. So when I'm talking about Canva for designs for your print on demand, it's not just for your print on demand. It could be for your actual business. It could be for your, say for example, you've got just even a printing business, and everything's on your own special letterhead. You can have your own letterhead brand kit with colors and associations. One simple click, and your brand kit is applied across all of your presentations, or across all of your letters, or across everything that you're trying to do, making things super, super easy. Now, you can also do things like create your own animations. You can make your you can do things like your own animations of GIFs, or of course you can do memes and all that sort of stuff as well. But basically, there's a whole, everything that I talked about before, there is a whole pro section as well. One of the other things is, because you can integrate it with your social media, you can even do with the pro part things like the Canva schedule. Now, what the Canva schedule is basically you create your social media posts in Canva, and then you can schedule when you want them to come out, and Canva will then send it to and post it on your behalf when you tell it to, which is quite cool. I'm as you can tell, I quite love this sort of stuff. Like this, I was never a big art person. I was never a big, design person. And using this tool, it has made me think, oh, that's quite cool. I can do that. That's not as hard as I thought. And when you search and you actually look at what there is available to you, it's quite surprising. I will sometimes literally go into the elements section, type in a word just to get some inspiration, and scroll for quite a while, find something and go, oh, that's cool, I'll use that. And even though that design was used by or created by someone else, because this is living in Canva, you have a right to use it. Now, that is the most important part out of all of this, is because Canva allows you to use that license. So that image that you used, that wording that you used, that Instagram post that you created, all of that you have a license to use, and you can then post it, then upload it. Whatever you need to do can be done. So really, really great little tool. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned, which I probably should, is even though you do have your own print-on-demand services that you can do, Canva will also do printing for you as well. So, say for example, you want those business cards. Now, of course, it is set up in America, so it will send from America. It will take a while to get to us down here in New Zealand, of course. But if you design something the way you want it to be designed, you can simply change, oh yeah, I'll turn that into a business card, or oh yeah, I'll turn that into a t-shirt. They'll print the t-shirt and send it off to you. Now, they will charge you for it, of course. It's not free, but if you are a Canva Pro person, you will get a little bit more, probably better pricing than you would normally. Now, I don't know that. I have not checked that. I'm only assuming here, because otherwise, why would you be a Canva Pro and order through that site to do so? All in all, I really enjoy Canva. I think it's quite easy to use. It's very simply click on one side, drag to the other where you want to put it, then resize. You can flip it. You can change the colors of the images sometimes. You can even, if you move an element over, sometimes if you don't like the colors of the element, you can then change those colors from the actual drop down. You can also add elements on top of other elements. A couple of my designs, you'll see one of the ones that I've created called Chubba Chums on my website is 2 lollipops with faces. And you might think, oh, that's quite funny, and that's a little play on Chubba Chups, of course. But that is literally like 3 different designs all on top of one big lollipops design. So combining that and then changing the colours and giving them faces, it's just some of the elements that are in Canva that I've put together, and it's a very simple thing to do. It took me about 5 minutes to find the elements that I wanted, and that's how easy it can be. Now, these days I take a little bit longer because I try to make something that I actually think will sell. A lot of my earlier designs are, let's just put it, pretty crap. I'll be honest. I didn't really know how to use Canva properly, and now that I've learned a bit more, it's a lot more of a helpful tool. And there are hundreds of YouTube videos out there where they teach you how to use these programs. If you, as I said, decide to go with Placeit, I'm sure if you search, you will find people telling you how to do it on Placeit as well. Now, as I said, I am not an affiliate with Canva. I don't have any particular referral codes or anything like that, so the choice is completely up to you. If you do a search, you will find some people do have affiliate codes, and if you can get it a bit cheaper, go for it. I would. I didn't at the time, and I wish I had, because I do know that you can get it, at least some people are getting it for probably about $8 or $9 cheaper per week, because of they're dropping the price by about $2 or $3 US. But at the same time, I am still happy with the $20 a month, because I enjoy creating the things, and I actually do find Canva quite easy to use. So whatever you decide to pick for your own print-on-demand designs, be it Canva, be it Placeit, be it Adobe, if you've got Adobe, just know that, as long as you've got the legal right to use the image, then, yeah, go for it. I wish everyone good luck. I know I rambled on a little bit in this particular podcast episode, but I do hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope it's helped you a little bit. I wish you all the best, and as always, you'll find my blog details and my websites in the show notes. Please feel free to pop along. Feel free to flick me a message at doncostas@gmail.com. That's all lowercase and together, and it's DON for Nike, COSTAS@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you, and I hope everyone has a great day, and good luck out there.